Recently, This is America and the World traveled to Japan to explore the unique culture, traditions, and technology that make Japan so special. We'll visit parts of the country that visitors rarely get to see and experience. Japanese culture, its beliefs, customs, history, and values is incredibly rich and varied. There's a sense of culture in just about everything, from food to sword making, castles to bridges, sports to pottery. On this program, we'll explore the many ways you can experience Japanese culture in everyday life in Japan. This is America Visits Japan. This is America and the World is brought to you by the National Education Association, the U.S.-China Education Trust, and F.Y. Chang Foundation, guided by Ambassador Julia Chang Block, President. The League of Arab States, representing 350 million people in 22 member countries. Japan, history, hospitality, and advanced technology. Sharing tomorrow. Tourism, Malaysia. The Petroleum Group, expertise with integrity in the fields of oil and gas, exploration and production, energy, and infrastructure. The Rotondaro Family Trust. The Embassy Series, uniting people through musical diplomacy, presenting international artists in diplomatic settings. And Ventana Productions, television facilities, editing, and distribution services. Going to a baseball game in Japan is a very different experience from going to a game in America. The game of baseball, of course, is exactly the same. However, the event itself in Japan is truly an event. The fans sing songs for their favorite players. Opposing fans dress in their own colors and sit on opposite sides of the stadium. There are drums, chants, and continuous music. Vendors with beer kegs roam the stands. Energy and enthusiasm run high, and everyone is up on their feet celebrating the game as it happens. Another fascinating part of Japanese culture is food. To learn about it, we visited Tokyo's world-famous Tsukiji Fish Market. The market is a trading post for 2,000 tons of fish that Tokyo buys, sells, and eats every day. It's also home to shops selling fresh vegetables and tiny restaurants famous for the freshest sushi on the planet. Two famous chefs explain the market and what brings them to it. Very famous market. What happens here?
As you know, Japanese food was registered as a UNESCO record, and that become Japanese food more popular, and that's why a lot of tourists come and see in Tsukiji Market.
So it's fish and vegetables, huh?
Fish.
Yes, fish.
Vegetables and fruit as well?
Yes, we also handling fruit too.
Who are the customers?
Our customers are most of the people who related to the food market. For example, restaurants, people, chefs, and supermarket related people. Lots of kinds of people come here. We have the bits auction from 5:30 to 7:30, and after the bid, we deliver the product to the market, sell places, and now tourists can come and see this market, but before only vendors can come and enter this market. In this inner market, there are not so many restaurants. It's for mainly for people who work here in the market. But as you know, outer market, around the market, there are lots of restaurants and shops. But before, maybe 20 years ago, around here there are not so many restaurant shops like this time.
Is it usual for chefs to come to the market to look at fish and to look at vegetables?
Yeah, of course. So many chefs coming to the Tsukiji market. Yeah, the chef can so make sure that so seasonal ingredients. Also, so sometimes we can find so new treasure.
Oh,
Yeah.
something new,
Yeah.
something rare.
Yes.
What are you looking for when you come to the market?
Yeah. So this season, so going to be changed. So seasons. It's gonna be start the winter. So I'm looking for the so a fresh yellow tail, and so yeah, it's a very so right now so.
So you're into tuna.
Yeah, I really love tuna too. So the Tsukiji so market I can purchase so very incredible good high quality so tuna from local so Japanese ocean. Yeah.
What is your current restaurant now?
Right now so my restaurant is a concept is so California cuisine and the fusion the Japanese.
Bring
Yeah.
them both together.
Yes, exactly. So one of so my signature dish is a tuna layer cake.
Tuna layer cake.
Yeah. This is a so fusion so California cuisine and the Japanese cuisine. So it's like so milfui. Yeah, I make a milfui and tuna, avocado, tuna, sun-dried tomato.
Whoa.
Yeah. And after that, so sprinkler, so use granite.
What is your message to Americans about Japanese food?
Yeah. So speaking of the Japanese foods, there are so many dishes as a sushi, tempura, sukiyaki, and yakitori. Yeah. Everything so foreigner guys can so be so enjoyed and tasty. Yeah. I'd like so many so people try to the so more comfort food. Yeah. In Japan.
So try different foods.
Yes.
In a fun way, it's common in Japan to see food displays outside of restaurants showing potential diners what's on the menu. Lifelike food models made out of wax are everywhere. A master craftsman shows us how to make hot wax into a delicious-looking meal. Kappabashi, very famous, huh?
かっぱ橋はとても有名なところですね。
そうですね。
Yes, very much.
Who comes here?
もちろん
Of course, many Japanese come here, but recently we have a lot of foreigners visiting us here too.
もちろん
Originally, this is a place where the chefs, the professionals, come to buy stuff, but recently these samples that we make, these are becoming very famous as well and popular.
So a restaurant owner would come here to buy supplies for his restaurant.
Yes, that's right. They come and they get tools, of course, and other stuff. They sell a lot of things here.
So I see knives and pans and furniture for restaurants. And now downstairs, we look at these food samples. Do the food samples say something about Japanese tradition and culture?
そうですね。
Yes, I would say that it has become a Japanese culture, a traditional Japanese culture now. And I think you saw, but these samples are also things that help stores and restaurants prosper.
So it can be advertising.
そうですね。
Yes, because a lot of times when you just look at the menu, you don't really get an image of what it is. And so if they actually see the food samples, they know, oh, this is what it is.
So for a tourist like myself, some of these samples are more for fun.
そうですね。
Yes, I agree.
How long have you been making the samples?
私
I have been making samples for over 20 years.
They look very real.
本物そっくりですね。
ありがとうございます。
So we're going to make something together?
そうですね。
Yes, I would like to show you how we made the samples, how they were done from a long time ago.
So you're the master and I'm the student and you're going to teach me. The master, of course, makes it look easy. Using white and green hot wax, he created something I didn't expect at all. A perfect head of lettuce that looks edible, inside and out. I tried it myself, but my lettuce looked far less real and a lot less appetizing. Even more than master craftsman, artist.
嬉しいです。
Artist. Thank you. Thank you. Far south of Tokyo is Okayama, home to an incredible amount of varied Japanese culture. We visited the stunning grounds and castle of the Korakuen Gardens. In Kurashiki, we experienced the quiet and calm of the town's historic district with its excellent museum and canal boat rides for tourists. Taking advantage of a spectacular sunshine-filled afternoon, we visited the Bizen Pottery Festival and had a chance to be a tourist along with thousands of shoppers. Later, we learned about the craft and art of Japanese sword making. We started our visit to Okayama with a stop at the Great Seto Bridge. You don't normally think of a bridge as a tourist destination, but this bridge is truly a stunning sight and an engineering marvel. Tell me about this bridge, why it is important.
この橋は瀬戸大橋と言います。
This bridge is called Seto Ohashi, and on top there is a layer which have road, and underneath there is a railway, and there are three bridges connecting Honshu and Shikoku, and among those three, this is the only bridge which runs railway, and structurally speaking, this route is the best to support the railway.
There are 4 main islands in Japan. If I understand correctly, this connects the largest island with the smallest island. Is that correct?
Correct.
How old is the bridge and how did it come about?
About 27 years old.
27 years ago.
Yes.
And have you been working with the bridge for a long time?
Yes. I was working in 1994 to 1997 at this Sakai operation. At that time, at Sakai construction office, in charge of construction of Seto Ohashi bridges.
How long is the bridge?
The Seto Ohashi bridges are the name of the 6 long span bridges and some viaducts. So total length is about 9.4 kilometers.
9.4 kilometers.
Yes.
So when we look at this bridge, how long did it take to build the bridge?
The construction period is about 9.5 years.
So is it a suspension bridge or a cable bridge, or what's the difference?
A suspension bridge is the bridge that is have the main cable that suspend the girders. So we have the 3 suspension bridges in Seto Ohashi bridges.
So how many people will go back and forth between the 2 islands?
20,000 vehicles per day.
20,000 a day.
20,000
Vehicles?
vehicles. Vehicles, yes.
20,000 vehicles a day. This is an area where there's earthquakes, typhoons, wind.
Yes.
How does that affect the bridge?
During the designing period, we already knew that typhoons and strong wind and earthquake are the possible risks. Therefore, we already incorporated those factors into our mind when we design. So we use a wind tunnel simulation, and we calculated those data and numbers to secure safety.
What do you do every day? What is your job every day?
私の立場はですね、
My role and responsibility is to secure safety and comfortableness of users. So, safety first. And next, I always try to guarantee the maintenance of the bridge.
Now, you're going to take some of our camera crew up on a very high level to take a look around. Are there tours for tourists to go way up to the top?
通常は、
Usually, tourists cannot go up. However, several days in a year, we solicit or open to ordinary people so that they can go up.
So today is a special day.
Actually, yes.
Actually, yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Japanese swords. Is there something special about a Japanese sword?
世界の刃物は一枚ものです。
Other than Japanese sword, any other blades or knives are just one layer. And Japanese sword is the only one which has multi-layers, which are hard part and softer part.
When we think of a Japanese sword, we think of samurai. Is that part of the history?
刀という
Japanese sword is or was weapon, arms, and it was a privilege allowed only to samurai who can use it.
Most swords are straight. Samurai sword seems to be curved. Is that correct?
はい、そうです。
That is correct.
Why is it so? Is it better for fighting?
はい。
So if it's straight, when you cut your enemy, the impact or the shock comes back to you. But if it's curved, that shock is absorbed.
So the sword at the beginning was for fighting, but now for collecting and for ceremony. Is that correct?
古い
So when you are talking about old ancient Japanese sword, there are some collectors who are collecting. But if you are talking about the new sword, like what we are making, some people collect for aesthetic reason, for art as art pieces, and also they actually use for practice for martial art.
What is the process of making a sword?
はい。その
We have the common processes among ours, and you forge steel and you sandwich soft steel with hard steels, and you elongate it and you strike it and you shape the form, and you place clay or sword clay to make the pattern of the surface, and you bake it with 800 degrees centigrade, and you place it into water.
Where does sword making fit into Japanese culture and tradition and spirit?
刀いう
Japanese sword is Japanese people's spirit, therefore you make an oath, or you, in the name of sword, you promise something so that you wouldn't cheat anybody, you wouldn't do anything wrong. That means that the Japanese sword is in your heart.
So the sword now is a thing of beauty, visually very, very attractive. Is that?
とは言い切れない思います。
Well, it really depends on who made it, and the swordsmith's spirit will appear in the form of sword.
You have a good spirit.
私の場合は侍の
My philosophy is when I make sword, I follow samurai spirit. Therefore, my sword would not bend or crack, or and it cuts well.
Tell me just in a sentence or two about this wonderful museum.
30年以上前に
More than 30 years ago, we built this building or museum thanks to the donation of membership and donation from Japan Foundation. However, from this month, it belongs to the city. On the second floor, we collect Bizen, which means ancient Bizen ware. So in that showcase, you can see all those old wares, which is almost 1,000 years old.
今この階は
On this floor, you are seeing works by living national treasurers, and 5 of them, and other famous work, artists' work are exhibited in this room.
You are president of the association. Tell me about the association.
東友会って言いますのは備前焼の
So we are Bizen Toyukai Corporation, and we have 200 membership who consists of the artists or potters, artists, and also kiln owners who have many craftsmen, and also retailers as well.
There's a big festival over these last 2 days. How many people will come to the Bizenware Festival here?
約10
Around 100,000 people.
Tell me a little bit about the festival.
どちらか言いますと
The origin of this festival was that we offer for 20% discount, expressing our thankfulness to our customers.
How long have you been a potter?
50年以上
Longer than 50 years.
やっぱり
So among old technique, using old technique, I'd like to make my own works. In my case, I use potter's wheel. Therefore, my expertise is pots and flower vases.
Is it true that in Bizenware, flowers in a vase of Bizenware lasts longer?
もちろん本当でございます
Of course, that is true.
What is so special about Bizenware?
備前焼の特徴
The most unique part of Bizenware is we don't use glazing.
Why not?
Without using glaze or glazing, Bizen is beautiful as it is.
How old is a Bizenware?
約
It has almost 1,000 years of history.
How does pottery and Bizenware fit into Japanese culture and tradition?
焼き物の中で
So among Japanese potteries or wares, Bizen is the only one which follows the ancient tradition of Japanese pottery ware.
Is any of your work here yet?
ここにはございません
Not here.
な
Not yet.
まだっていうことですよね。まだだけどっていうこと
そう
ですね。
まあそうありたいですね
I hope so.
I hope so as well. Thank you so much for our conversation. Thank you. Visiting Japan is always an unfolding experience of new insights about a wonderful culture. Whether you're looking at a piece of pottery made 1,000 years ago or watching a present-day artist make food displays out of hot wax, you always have the feeling in Japan that there is more there. And of course, with Japanese culture, there is. For information about This Is America and the World and to watch all of our programs, visit our website thisisamerica.net and look for us on Facebook and Twitter. This is America and the World is brought to you by the National Education Association, the U.S.-China Education Trust, and F.Y. Chang Foundation, guided by Ambassador Julia Chang Block, President. The League of Arab States, representing 350 million people in 22 member countries. Japan, history, hospitality, and advanced technology. Sharing tomorrow. Tourism Malaysia. The Petroleum Group, expertise with integrity in the fields of oil and gas, exploration and production, energy, and infrastructure. The Rotondaro Family Trust. The Embassy Series, uniting people through musical diplomacy, presenting international artists in diplomatic settings. And Ventana Productions, television facilities, editing, and distribution services.